Newsflash. Onision has done an interview with Chris Hansen? Of course, that's definitely happened, and that is wrong. So let's take a look.
What's your side of the story?
So what happened was you met me in a hotel in San Francisco, and like the fact that you reached around, I just wanted to let you know here on air that I'm pregnant with your baby.
I get it. It's a joke. It's about how Onision made love on Chris Hansen with his pee-pee. And now he's pregnant. What a funny joke. Oh, what a funny joke. God, he really understands humour and comedy. He had his pee-pee. Not only is it incredibly inappropriate for you to be making jokes about this, that's great, you clearly have a good understanding of what's right and wrong. Secondly, this is the most cringy thing I've ever seen. Onision, his idea of humour is to swear loads and bleep out every swear word, so all you hear is beep, 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 beep. Now, I've seen series where they do this right, like Arrested Development has a few scenes like that, but there's a whole point behind it.
I'm Mom, and I want to shoot down everything you say so I feel good about myself.
Look who's ragging on the old lady.
Hey. I'm an uptight buster.
But Onision's he's just swearing loads. Like, are you a 5-year-old? Are you literally a 5-year-old who thinks pee-pees and, making love and babies is funny and swearing lots? Because that's wicked, bro. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed today's video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. So, today, we'll be continuing with the whole dark truth of Onision saga. So, let's get down to business then, shall we?
I was in just a very bad place, especially when me and Kai first became friends. I was in I had wanted to kill myself a few months prior.
So this is like ground zero where it all started. Sarah was in a horrible position. Her life wasn't going well in any way, shape or form. She wasn't happy. This is, I think, where a lot of things with Onision starts, because he talks about, self-harm and things like that, even though I think when you grow up you realise he actually hasn't got a clue what he's talking about, and his messages are actually incredibly negative, and, he really does have no concept of any of these things that he discusses. But with Sarah, when she was young, she got into that, and she felt a connection, she felt relatability. So it seems like with Onision, this is how a lot of his relationships start with younger girls anyway.
So you thought, okay, I'm talking to this woman who's involved with Greg Jackson, Onision, and this is cool. I'm in contact with people who are influencers.
So that's another thing. YouTubers are, big personalities that have a massive influence. This is why you have the term influencers. So for a lot of girls like Sarah, when she was really young, this is an example of how malleable her mind is and how suggestible she is, especially when she's in such a rough place as this. She would be incredibly excited to be talking with these big internet personalities. It would be an attraction straight away,
First private message that Kai ever sent me was, "Hey Sarah, how old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 14.
So this is something I didn't realise before watching this stream. Sarah was incredibly young when she started up a line of communication with Kai. She was only 14. it makes a lot of sense how much they were able to influence her at this age, and it's just even more disturbing at that point, because becoming her legal guardian when she's that young, it really is like they have their own child. But what develops over the course of their relationship is just incredibly disturbing from this point. It's, if you are that old, Onision and Kai, and they come into contact with a 14-year-old, to think that it's only a few years until they're going to be starting to share nudes between each other, it's rough, man. It's weird.
Oh yeah, Greg was like the, how do I put it? He, for the whole relationship part, at least the second time around when I was about to be 18.
Right.
He was like the puppet master. He was being like, oh, you guys should do this. Oh, you guys should kiss. You guys should. Greg was very, very mean to me in the like weirdest way. And then when nobody was looking, he would be kind of nice to me and then be meaner in front of, and it was just, I don't know. It was really weird.
If you'd seen my last video, I was looking into Onision actually bullying Sarah kind of aggressively for a long time, and I think this is what he was talking about, her saying all of this. So it seems like Greg was literally horrible to her in front of other people to make it seem like he didn't want a relationship with such a young girl or something mental like that, and then in private was nice to her. And I'm sorry, Greg, you were claiming that that is a proof that you were not inappropriate with her, but to me that just makes it seem so much worse, that you were completely manipulating her, being horrible one moment then nice the next. That is a true sign of a psychopath or a sociopath. It really is. And again, obviously I'm not diagnosing you as one or the other, I'm just saying you share traits. So that is not proof that you weren't inappropriate. That is just more proof that you were trying to completely mess with her head. It feels like she may have developed Stockholm syndrome over this time.
He made me feel bad about like my body or my looks.
No surprise there. This is why I do not understand how Kai has stayed with him for so long. How could he possibly enjoy that relationship? Because Greg is clearly someone that is going to be the most critical person 24/7, constantly criticizing every last thing you do. It's very clear that that is how he would act.
Yeah, no, all the time. If I didn't want to do something that he wanted me to do, he would accuse me of lying, or, you know, tell me to be an adult, or basically do whatever he could do to get me to do what he wanted.
So when Greg says that he hasn't actually seen these videos and he's just going off of what his patrons are saying, clearly he's getting biased, inaccurate, stupid information, because as I've said before, he's shot himself in the foot like 10 times in that official statement, actually showing that he's a bad person instead of what he thinks he's showing you as being a not bad person. So here, this is Sarah outright saying that him being mean was, only to further manipulate her. So well done for pointing that out. Good job.
Oh yeah, he would just like give me little touches when nobody was looking, or like make comments about my body that were really inappropriate, make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, Greg, that's grooming. You might have wanted to actually watch this before making yourself seem like the dumbest man in the world, because this is very clearly grooming, and you have decided not to watch this because I think you did that so that you didn't have to respond to any of this, so you can just ignore it and act like she hasn't said any of these things, which is the most lame, pathetic excuse to not actually defend yourself. It's coming to me now that that is very much what you're clearly doing, because you need to respond to things like this. You're acting as if you are the victim, as if Sarah was the one that was a problem, which is baffling and incredibly just insulting and offensive to what she's been through. So what do you have to say about this? if you're watching this right now, who knows if you are, what do you have to say about this? Respond to it. Don't just make dumb, jokey videos that are horrible and just painful to watch, and respond to these accusations.
Greg and I never even kissed until the first time we had sex, so.
And again, Greg is acting like he was portraying this rejection-based behavior or whatever dumb terminology he used. But I'm sorry, mate, you slept with her. You slept with a girl who you were the legal guardian of, that you knew from the age of 14, that was almost like your own child, and you slept with her after manipulating her mind, being a terrible bully and nice in secret, after criticizing her, after making comments about her body, after then being, suggestive. Boom, you sleep with her. That's grooming. That is the definition of it. What do you have to say about that, mate? What do you have to say about this? Christ.
So everybody got freaked out, and they basically told me that they had to move me out because of the public, and that they actually, when we were going to the airport, me and Kai were going to the airport, Kai was asking, like, do we actually have to do this? Like, didn't want me to go. And Greg said, yeah, we can't just say she's going to leave and then not have her actually.
So another example of Greg's complete lack of compassion or care or empathy or anything like that. Kai is the one saying, oh, don't go, I actually really enjoy you staying here. And Greg's like, nah, I have my own agenda and I don't care how you fit into it. You need to get the hell out of here because it'll make me look bad. So, whatever kind of relationship we had, I'm just going to end it, and I'm going to terminate it, because he uses that word for ending friendships. I'm going to terminate this friendship. No one uses cold language like that in Onision unless they just don't understand how to care for people properly. And in that official statement, you claim you've now learnt how to care, and that's not true, is it? Because it's clearly not true. You've said in that statement, you said you got early tickets for someone to leave where they were staying with you, and without even consulting them. You just got the tickets yourself, kicked her out your house, job done. Yeah, you're a caring guy.
When I was 16 and Billy, Isla, and Kai were all downstairs, Greg came upstairs while I was laying on a beanbag scrolling through my phone, and he goes, that booty dough.
Wow. Everyone, just imagine this. Imagine that your dad approaches you as you're sitting on a beanbag and says something like that. Because that's essentially what's happened here. You are her guardian, and you manipulate her mind, you're horrible to her, you kick her out because it suits yourself, and you do that several times, but then you go and say things like this as if that's just fine, but then you follow it up by saying, no, this is like the Kevin Spacey thing, I could get in trouble, so again, get the hell out. Off you go, bye-bye, see ya. You're a sick man, you really are.
Oh, Greg is saying that the plan is for you to move here when you're 18. And so...
Was that your plan to move back there when you were 18?
No, I had no idea that he even had this plan.
That's not surprising. That's not surprising that Greg has just decided this. Because again, it suits himself. Oh, I've just decided to move you back here when you're 18 so I can sleep with you. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to move you back here when you're 18 so you have a nice place to stay. And I can make comments. I mean, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, you'll have a nice place to stay and I can bully you. I mean, oh God. I mean, you'll have a nice place to stay and I'll be really nice to you because it'll make me look good. I mean, oh God, God damn it. My hair is obscene. It's too long. It needs to get away. I've got like anime hair. Alright.
Greg said that he's willing to talk to you about your concerns if you'd like. I called him and he was so mean to me on the phone. At the end of the call, I was going to call Kai back and be like, I don't want to go.
What a frustrating situation that must have been, because it's no secret that Sarah had incredibly strong feelings for Kai. It really felt for him. So it must have been so horrible to have that strong feelings for Kai, but Kai comes with this horrible other thing, this demon that comes with her. And even when they're discussing her concerns, he's horrible to her. Again, you don't care about people, Onision. You only care about yourself. Everything you do is to serve yourself. It's clear, it's obvious, it's apparent.
Little comments from Greg start coming out like, oh, you and Sarah would be a good couple. Oh, yeah, do that. That'd be hot, or something like that. And so I was
he
like,
was trying to pair you up with Kai.
yeah. And I got really, really upset one night about it because he had made a joke, I guess, that we would be a cute couple, and Kai told me about it. And Kai was in the shower, and I was sitting with him in the bathroom talking with him. And I was like, I just started like crying, and I was like, I need him to not make jokes like that anymore because it hurts my feelings, because I like still feel like this sometimes, and I don't want this to... I don't want this to like give me hope of any kind, because I'm trying to move past it.
Again, what seems like a nice comment, you two would make a cute couple, is, it's not a nice comment because of how Sarah feels. It's a pretty horrible comment to make when this is a relationship that can't really happen. It's screwing with her head yet again. And what, is this to serve yourself again? Is it so you can start up some sort of relationship here that you can just jump in and get involved with? That's clearly what you're doing, right? I could be wrong, but it seems like that. I know that's what's happening in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, in this situation, that seems like what you're doing.
We just had a sort of like phone sex, I guess. And so after that, things just went like from 0 to like 100, and we were like talking, like actually they were like talking about me while doing stuff and then telling me about it afterwards, and it was just like
I mean, it's sad when Sarah had such strong feelings, but at the end of the day, this is still wrong. This still isn't right because of how young she was. She was only 16 when this started happening. With Greg, it's a much more disturbing situation, but with Kai, it's not as like manipulative and terrible. It seems like there were feelings shared between both of them, but still, you can't do that. You're her guardian. You're not supposed to do that. No surprises here. Good song, Radiohead, very good.
I look over and I see Greg and Kai like making out, which they'd done in the past, like made out with me on the bed, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. They're like, I'm gonna watch the movie. And then I looked back and they were like actively having.
Oh look, my legal guardians are making love to each other right next to me, because that's appropriate. That's so appropriate, and that obviously wouldn't hurt Sarah's feelings either. Good job, guys. You know how to do things. Well done, you goddamn idiots. Christ almighty, what is wrong with you?
And then Greg kind of pulled me in and told me to start doing stuff with them.
That's horrendous, mate. I can't believe you are still trying to make people think that what you did was okay, or that she was the problem. Yeah, really sounds like Sarah's the problem here, doesn't it? You bullied her repeatedly, which you think was the right thing to do. You manipulated her, and now you are literally dragging her without her consent into this situation. Dragging her into it. Oh my god. You guys are insane if you think that what you've done is not a problem. So again, Onision, respond to this. Watch this video. Actually watch it.
And how did you feel? How did you feel afterwards?
Very mixed emotions. I didn't sleep really that night, and I'm not really a person that has trouble getting sleep at night, but I just I couldn't sleep. I just stayed awake.
This is the effect you have that you're trying so hard to ignore. This is the kind of effect you have had on Sarah. She's having trouble sleeping. She's having trouble trusting people. You've had a lasting effect on her. And yeah, fine, she was 18, but that's not the issue here. That's not what we're discussing. We're discussing what led up to this, and how in that situation you dragged her into it. That's not consent. Not at all. You're dragging her into what she would probably want to do with Kai, but you're there as well. And he's saying that He showed this rejection-based behavior, and the only reason she's saying any of this is because you rejected her once. Like, what's that got to do with anything? I don't understand what that has to do with anything. So what, you rejected her? She wanted to sleep with you, and she shouldn't, because you're her guardian. She shouldn't want to do that, which is how you very clearly manipulated her. Like, what the hell has that rejection got to do with anything? She's discussing years and years of your terrible behavior before that.
And don't talk to me again, bye. And then he's, of course, kept talking to me. A couple months after that, he started really, really trying to get me to come back out just to be his friend.
You can't do that, Onision. You can't just kick someone out of your life repeatedly to suit yourself and then drag her back in. Do you even understand that what you're doing is completely manipulative? Do you understand that?
Joe, just be my friend now. And then I went back out there and we ended up having sex again because, of course, that was his plan all along.
Yeah. Onision, you can't do that. You can't kick her out your life when it suits you, drag her back in when it suits you, sleep with her when it suits you. This is the exact definition of grooming, mate. In the years leading up to her being 18, you were inappropriate with her, you were manipulative, and you bullied her. And all of this, by the way, makes what you're doing bad. Bullying her doesn't somehow make things better. It makes things much worse, because you're showing her two kind of personalities to completely mess with her head. You can't just kick her out your life, bring her back in, and then as soon as she's 18, you just use her to sleep with. That is what grooming is, mate. That's exactly what it is. Just come on, God.
He does not know how to love people. He said, I don't even know what love is.
So I've discussed this sort of thing in my streams. Onision very clearly has no concept of love or, empathy or compassion. And I don't think he has the capacity to love or empathize. Because in that official statement, he was saying now that he's changed how he deals with situations and stuff like that. When that's not true, that's just him lying to make it look like he's matured as a person. And then you watch these comedy videos he's made about Chris Hansen, and you can see he clearly hasn't matured at all, and it's so inappropriate to make those kind of jokes. I don't think he has the capacity to love, and he's admitted that himself.
Sometimes when I think about it too much, my arms will lock up and I'll just get really, really tense in my shoulders and I'll just shake.
So this is the effect you've had, Onision. This is the lasting damage you have caused. Whether you think you've caused this damage or not, or whether you believe what she's saying, but this is the truth of it. You have had a lasting effect through years and years of psychological warfare. This is the effect that you've had. You have messed with her head throughout a large portion of her childhood, and you think she's the problem. And that's funny, in a dark, twisted, horrible way. So that is the Chris Hansen interview with Sarah. That's all I wanted to talk about in this video. But to get the information on this is all you really need to see. I think I may check out the Shiloh video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video on that one. I've heard that it's pretty sad and horrible to watch, so I may get to that. But it's just such a horrible situation. It's just and it's so crazy for Onision to not watch this and then try and defend himself by going off what his fans tell him. It's mental. You've got to watch this, Onision, and you have to respond to it. I'm sorry, but that official statement, I know it's like 1 million paragraphs long, but that's not good enough at all. You can't just shove that onto your forum and expect people to find it. You just shoved it in the description of some random video that barely anyone's going to watch. It's ridiculous. You need to do a full video responding to every one of these claims, just like I've done here. And I will say that if you don't do that, I'm just going to consider you the most guilty man in the world. Not that I don't already do that, but it's Sort it out, mate. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Let me know down in the comments what you think on this situation. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. If you want to support me even further than that, I have Patreon and PayPal links down in the description, along with my Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Lovely stuff. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next one. Take care.